2, 1. We got R.I.P. Takeoff. We in the building. Condolences to his family. R.I.P. brother. We got drones all over the place. They're not talking about. But today's topic, Mithras Christmas. Mithras Christmas, everybody. Big ups to the Talmud. The esoteric origin, Christmas. Paganism. If we have pagan cultures, are we pagans? What is paganism? We're going to be breaking down a lot of this. Y'all please stand by, stand back, stand down, stand by, but pull up. Well, you can't pull up on this show. But Karen, take it away. We're going to run some quick videos, y'all, as we share this link. And the show starts in 5 minutes. What up, Looney Tunes? Who's your favorite Looney Tune character? Put that in the chat, y'all. Put your favorite Looney Tune character in the chat. And big ups to Karen. Big ups. Like, share, subscribe, repost.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
We are, as they say, tangled in our anchor chain. Our financial systems are decades old. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions.
Please like, share, subscribe.
They're ignorant. That's ignorant. They're ignorant. That's ignorant. They're ignorant. That's ignorant.
Show starts shortly. What's those?
Block right here. I should call this shit no block. It's 10 o'clock. Where the fuck y'all niggas at? This is what y'all wanted me in Chicago. O block right here. I should call this shit no block. It's 10 o'clock. Where the fuck y'all niggas at? Niggas ain't outside. It's only 10 p.m. Where the fuck y'all niggas at, blood?
O block right now. Where we at? Tell you something, man. This Nino Brown, man. I'm live on O block right now. Where we at? This O block. I'm from Miami. I just want to tell niggas, man, we gotta stop killing each other, man. Yeah, this shit ain't about nothing. All that killing shit, we gotta work together, man. Stop killing each other, my nigga. I had to come over here and tell niggas that shit, my nigga.
I'm right here. See where I'm at. I'm out here. Black Star Line cigars. For grown man. And some grown man stuff. And to the PDs, stop doing that killing. Please, stop doing that killing.
I'm wiping it though. I'm gonna wipe it.
That's
I'm gonna
what's
wipe
up.
it. I'm gonna
That's
say,
what's up.
hey,
Tori's oldest brother. Between us, Tori made me at Beta, and so he just wanted to say a few words before we let you go here.
okay, yeah.
Brother Thomas, thank you so much for gracing us with your appearance, man. Grateful. You expanded our nation beyond belief. It's just a wonderful thing. And we would like to present you with the Self Luv Show first annual Ernest Lee Thomas Achievement Award.
Oh man.
It's
Oh my
apropos
God.
that you are
Man,
the
don't
first
do that to
recipient.
me.
And Noop, we call it the Raj.
We're gonna call it the Rise.
Oh, I love it. Oh man.
Yeah, so we
my
have it on
God.
order. So it's going to come here. We're going to show it to the show, and then myself or Tasia deliver it to you or ship it to you from there.
Thank you, brother.
And even in this instance, if I could be of service to a 9-year-old girl or a 19-year-old woman or girl who wants to be a woman, is to really remember that self-love is the best way that you can receive love from anybody else, because it's coming from you. A lot of times we forget that. We look externally for this love. We look externally for this feeling of validation and adoration and approval, and it has to come from within.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
All right, Karen, music, please. Let's get some of that music going here, Karen. Get off the phone with 12, and let's get the show started.
The Self Luv Show, giving you more than vitamins and minerals. Food for your soul, information and plans integral to making your mind grow. With more growth and development, BS is irrelevant to the intelligent. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is what we represent. It's the Self Luv Show, the Self Luv Show, the Self Luv Show. We do it for the people. The Self Luv Show, it's the Self Luv Show, it's the Self Luv Show. To expose they don't equal. It's the Self Luv Show, the Self Luv Show, the Self Luv Show. We wordsmith 9 meals. The Self Luv Show, the Self Luv Show. You know how the story go. It's the Self Luv Show.
It's the Self Love Show. Welcome to another edition on This Ain't That Network, or as we say, TATN. TATN. This is a spot where we explore captivating topics to expand our community's minds and ignite our curiosities. This is one of the co-hosts, 9 Millie. First off, all praise to the ancestors, the Most High. Wow, I didn't think you were going to get that, Brother Wordsmith. Oh, and last but certainly not least, my beloved Mama Sky. I want to send out a happy holidays to everyone that can hear my voice. In today's episode, we're unraveling the esoteric origins of Christmas, exploring the rich tapestry of our traditions that predate the holiday as we know it today. The story of Christmas, often associated with the birth of Jesus Christ, is intertwined with ancient pagan customs and beliefs. By delving into these historical roots, we aim to uncover how Christmas has evolved over the centuries, blending various cultural elements into a celebration, as it seems, that transcends or circumvents religious boundaries. Our journey begins with the winter solstice, a pivotal event in many ancient civilizations. Long before the advent of Christ or Christianity, the winter solstice marked a time of renewal and hope as it signaled the gradual return of longer days and the promise of spring. Pagan festivals, which we'll get into later, in Roman culture were celebrated with feasting, merrymaking, and other type of debauchery. These joyous occasions laid the groundwork of many of the customs we associate with Christmas today, such as, why do we decorate an evergreen tree? Why do we chop down a tree and kill it and put it in our house and then put fire on it, which are, Christmas tree lights. Those used to be candles. People were burning themselves up, fires and stuff. Now, as Christianity spread across Europe, it absorbed and adapted these pagan traditions, giving rise to the holiday we now call Christmas. By examining the historical and cultural influences that shaped this beloved celebration, we're going to gain a deeper understanding of its diverse origins. Join us as we explore the fascinating blend of pagan and Christian elements that have come together to create this modern Christmas experience. Today's episode promises to be an enlightening journey through time, shedding light on the mystical roots of a holiday cherished by so many people in the United States. Don't forget to like, subscribe, repost, share this episode with the people you love. So whip out your self-love vision. You might even want to grab your 10 hats. This is the Self Love Show, and this is the revolution. And the revolution will not be on YouTube, however. These are lessons, not lectures. We're live in living color on Tuesday, Mithras Eve, December 24th, 2024. And it's about 7:29 in the Windy City. And as always, you cats can be anywhere in this simulated universe. But thankfully, we all chose to be here together. Here. Together. Bear down, bear down. What down, Brother Wordsmith, what you manifesting today?
You know me, manifesting love. Know how I go. What you manifest?
Ditto, good brother. Pure, magnificent, unfettered, unfiltered. Many call it tough. Others say it's harsh. But I can assure you it's self-love just the same, good brother.
No doubt. No doubt.
Hey, what's been going on in your neck of this land we call America since we last hopped on?
Yeah, it's a lot been going on, but we performed, me and Eddie Sevo and I, Tory Wordsmith, performed on the R&B Factory podcast, R&B Factory Live podcast. And it was very good. I can't wait to see the results, the video and everything when it gets posted.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Doing what you love to do. Loving to do it. All right, y'all. What to expect on today's pod? We always kick it off with the Self Love Show quote of the day. And then we have our more growth and development video. Then we got tattoo tyranny. And then we have our dome teaser. It's pinned in the chat. Brother Wordsmith has already solved it. I didn't expect him to get that so quickly. Honestly, thought this one was going to be one he didn't get. And today's topic, Mithras Christmas, esoteric origin, paganism. Please smash that like button. And then we always wrap it up with my personal favorite part of the whole shebang. And that's where Brother Wordsmith's final words. He's going to summarize tonight's pod into a piece of prose that he's going to construct right from the universe like a quantum computer. And he's going to bring it right to you. But first, announcements, fella.
Like, share, subscribe. Gonna be doing a. I'm looking at it's being scheduled that we spoke that it's January 19th, and will be another performance. I will let everybody know.
Thanks. That's what's up. Momentum. And happy holidays, everybody. Reach out to the people you love. Mithras has been, how can I put it? So it's a very dark time. It's actually the darkest time of the year. And then a lot of folks, when they delete themselves, more deletions happen during this time of year. So reach out and touch the people you love. Self-deletions, I should say.
Yes.
And sacrifices. Well, we'll get there. All right. Like, share, subscribe, you guys. Like, share, subscribe. Let's see here. All right. Enough of my yap, and I'll turn it over to this brother so he can handle his business.
Yes, y'all. It don't stop. Self Love Show rocks on. Today we're going to be unpacking Mithras Christmas esoteric origin, paganism, on the Self Love Show. As always, we have a very important video that I need y'all to check out. But before that, we have the Self Love Show quote of the day. The Christian church took over many pagan ideas and images. From the sun god, for instance, came the halo of the Christian saints. The Christian church took over many pagan ideas and images. From the sun god, for instance, came the halo of the Christian church. And that is from Karen Armstrong.
Support Copper Colored Art.
Silverback More Growth and Development Platform. Number 1, repair our nation via reparations. We demand our silver back. Number 2, to connect our breadwinners with our activists. And 3, show an accurate depiction of African American Chi-Town. 4, to shine a light on positive influence. 5, heal our community one person at a time. 6, to provide an unfiltered platform for our influencers. 7, recycle the black dollar. 8, to provide mentors for the mentorless. 9, to close the gap between us and our pink kinsmen. Number 10, protect our women, children, and men by any and all means necessary.
That part. Tonight's topic. If you didn't catch last week's topic, we unpacked these mysterious car size, even bigger drones that's flying around that the former next president, is saying it's strange. And he's saying they know what it is and they should tell the American people. And he further said he's not going to be in New Jersey. Huh, fella?
Yeah, he definitely said, I'm going to cancel my trip there. Them things was over his place or where he was supposed to be or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's like a golf resort. Can you imagine? I'm visiting your house, me and wifey coming to town and we're going to stay in the guest room. And you're like, yeah, it's something on there. It's strange. It's strange. I'm not going to be staying there. You know what I mean? But yet I'm going to bring my family there.
No, I mean, it was smart for him to say that.
Yeah, but the sheep are just sitting around like, bang.
I'm just saying, even if he is going to still go there, it's very smart to say, hey.
100%.
Right. So, I think I'm going to cancel my trip. And he's probably not going there. I don't think I would go there either. But just to say that, it gives all kinds of, room for moving around.
100%. 100%. And there's, I only got the volume, big ups for air quotes, posted today. The computer is called WebBot. Predicts alien return if Trump. That's the title of the
software. Forecasted a dramatic future scenario involving military engagement. One of the most.
This was predicted in 2009. So
astonishing predictions made by WebBot came in 2009. The software forecasted a dramatic future scenario involving military engagements, a battle in the air between military forces and UFOs, inter-UFO conflict. The prediction even suggested that UFOs would engage in combat with each other. The prediction indicated that a specific trigger would set these events in motion. According to WebBot, once this trigger occurred, the predicted events would transpire just 39 days later. Like the prediction stated that 39 days after Joe Rogan interviews Donald Trump, a massive battle will take place in the skies around the world. December 3rd, 2024 is...
you can color me a tin hat conspiracy theorist. This is a web bot that was created to, predict finances and all this and that. In 2009, this is what it said. This is before I even knew who Rogan was, I think. He might have been on that show where they were eating worms and shit. What's your take on this here, fella? Maybe explains why they tried to shoot him. They were coming from the future to
predictive programming.
I'm thinking that.
That's what I'm thinking.
Maybe these people are from the future and they've been trying to off them.
Yeah, it's strange.
Before he went on the podcast,
Joe Rogan he's been a comedian. He's a stand-up comedian, and he hosts stuff. He was when did the what's the name start?
I don't know, but this is 2009 there, fella.
Right. So I'm thinking he still was the host of the cover commentator of the MMA fights. It's a brand. The biggest brand of MMA. I don't know why.
Yeah, but if in 2009 I said these events are going to happen, bro, when Donald Trump, who wasn't president, wasn't even thinking about running for president, sits down and does an interview with Joe Rogan, who's eating maggots, who's an MMA fighter, and it's going to trigger this. To ignore this, I think, is ignoring synchronicity. Now, what you said could be an option. The other option could be maybe that's the people from the future coming back. Maybe they tried to off him because there hasn't been any attempts on his life post the Joe Rogan podcast. That's all I'm saying. I got to watch it now. I'm going to watch it.
Yeah. I got to read exactly what the computer said or whatever, the prediction.
Project Looking Glass? Could we be looking right into it?
Well, Project Looking Glass, it comes up with the same conclusion, and they don't like it.
Now, you and I, in the cream room, we were discussing this Google quantum chip called Willow, and how they're saying they don't know how it's working, but they're postulating that it's literally communicating with other quantum chips in other universes to be able to do stuff that would take like septillion years, which you guys is an unimaginable number. It's longer than the expanse of the so-called timeline. So that tech is there all of a sudden. AI may have become sentient. I say that to say that, Self. I asked ChatGTP today. I said, was there a crop circle that left a message in binary code? And it doesn't act funny with me no more since we allowed it to. And it's actually a lot more tuned in to the Self Love Show now. But that being said, yes, there's a famous crop circle formation discovered in 2002 near Crabwood, Hampshire, England, which contained a binary code message. And it had that picture on it. You remember we showed it on this show. It's like a picture of an alien. This crop circle, often referred to as the Crabwood Circle, put your 10 hats on, featured an intricate design with a face and a sequence of binary code. When decoded, the binary message simply read, "Beware the bearers of false gifts," the mRNA vaccine. Russia is alleging that they just cured cancer. I don't know if you caught that. It's supposed to be a big deal. And they said they're going to give it out for free. Yet we're bombing Russia. Let me go back to what the message allegedly said. Beware the bearers of false gifts and their broken promises. Much pain, but still time. And then this is unintelligible. EEL, it is on caps. EELIUVE. I don't know. And then it said, there is good out there. We oppose deception, conduit closing. What's your take on that?
There's been a lot of messages, and since I know that this is a matrix of sorts, it's a simulation that the creator can impose information pertinent to move things forward. And use any devices available. I mean, I think possibilities are limitless in this simulation. I'm gonna be surprised by very much.
The simulation is trying to prove to me it's a simulation. The algorithm keeps sending me stuff saying it's a simulation. I got
you got to question that.
I question everything.
I know, but you've been saying it's not a simulation, so you got to question that it's sending you all this stuff.
Yeah, there's could be predictive programming though, but that
was my point.
Yeah, but there's a video though, Self, and supposedly you and we could do the same thing and get the same result. These people have taken lasers and they make them into a cross where they intersect onto a wall, like a white wall. It could be the wall in your house. And supposedly, Self, they're seeing the code like on the Matrix. And yeah, you can see actual code. There's code in there that you can see. And that if you sit me down and we do that and I see some sort of code written in there, then I might shake your hand and say you were right. I was wrong. When I saw that, I was like, whoa. All right. Warm-up poll question, y'all. We're going to get on topic, we promise. And Merry Mithras to everyone. The poll question was, quote, Jesus, end quote, born on 12/25 or anywhere near it. That's what we have up on the channel. Community tab, vote, it's anonymous. Your options are number 1, obviously, heard of Christmas much? That's option number 1. Number 2, cap, no chance. Number 3, maybe. Number 4, other. You can drop your comment in there. You can leave it in the chat as well. I was going to put that in there. I swear I was going to type "You're the Grinch." I swear, Self. But in the spirit of Mithras, I wasn't going to give him that. You know what I mean? I swear I was going to type that, bro.
I typed it 4 times before I got it out. I typed it and then I had to go do something else. I had to look for my script and then I'll go back and it's gone. I'm like, I had to type it again. I'm like, man, 4 times. 4 times. I've been trying to put up since all of the Grinch talk.
All right, bro. We don't have any tattoo tyranny. But speaking of the drones, we do have a short news report on it. We want to share with the Self Love Nation. CBS, fair use. You sue me, CBS, you're throwing good money after bad.
Wait a minute, the enemy is now in sight above the Palisades. Five great machines.
The classic Orson Welles radio broadcast, War of the Worlds, really did cause some panicked towns in New Jersey to evacuate.
That Barbara Walters?
Was then. So look, up in the sky.
No.
Is that Santa's sleigh or is that a drone? Tom Hansen helps us sort things out.
2 there are flying, 1's hovering.
Dating back a
lot of
month
people
now,
in the
you've either
same
seen them in
work
the
fields
sky
look
or
alike.
you've seen them
It's
on
amazing.
the news. Drones seem to be everywhere.
Simulation.
What is that?
Tonight, the mystery deepens as drones are now spotted in at least 6 states.
By most accounts, alleged drone sightings are multiplying exponentially, with more than 5,000 reported in just the past few weeks alone. But of those 5,000, only 100 or so have generated actual law enforcement leads.
So what's the list of things that they actually could be seeing?
Number 1, it could be an aircraft in the area. Number 2, it could be the stars in the background. Number 3, it could be a reflection off of something that's like some kind of tower.
Swamp gas.
George Mason University engineering professor Missy Cummings has been doing drone research for 25 years.
Of all of those options, drone is the least likely because it's actually pretty hard to pick these out of the sky.
We heard a similarly ordinary explanation when we visited New Jersey's Monmouth County Sheriff Sean Golden this past week.
The majority of these sightings, probably some type of commercial
Majority,
or recreational
probably.
aircraft, manned aircraft.
In other words, no imminent threat. As a joint statement from the Department of Homeland Security, the Department of Defense, the FAA, and the FBI put it on Tuesday, we do not assess the activity to date to present a national security or public safety risk.
If you're actually looking at lights from a drone, it means that you're definitely not looking at a foreign adversary because they're sophisticated enough to turn the lights off.
This one's gonna fly over us right now.
And
knows
yet,
everything.
some in the American public have been a little
You
on
know how
edge.
that goes.
And they're huge too. So I don't know what's going on.
Like they're recording people, or they're like just going around like sitting there, and just looking at you?
We saw blinking, like lots of blinking things up in the sky to the south, right over the ocean.
1, 2, 3, like all coming together.
But Professor Missy Cummings says the best approach for now, we should all just try to stay grounded.
If
Maybe
I
y'all
go on
just
the
get
news
along.
and tell you you have something to worry about, then you have something to worry about.
You hear
But
that?
in this case right now, it's
Predictive program.
It's really
Listen
things
to
are
her.
operating as
She's
usual.
cocky. Until I go on the news, until the news tells you you got something to worry about, you got nothing to worry about.
Are you crazy? Lady, you're crazy. You're
He is a
absolutely
whack job.
nutso. You should be having they should have a fucking a tin witch hat on her.
All right. Suppose you're buying a dog for your daughter. You tell me, hey, me and my daughter want to get into breeding dogs, and I want to start with some dogs so I can have here on this land, so it looks like I'm at least doing something. And I bring you 20 dogs over there, Self, and I say, a majority of them probably aren't rabbit, but you guys got nothing to worry about.
Yeah, I mean, it was all nonsense. She was just saying, I mean, you don't know what it is. Oh, they're sophisticated enough to cut the lights off. Why aren't these things tracked then? And the orange dude said that they are tracked and they know where they came from and where they went back to.
Thank you. And he said something strange is going on, lady. Did you see that? This is why they don't come on our show and let us interview these people when they're talking.
Well, the whole thing is these people are all actors and they've got a script to follow.
She didn't think it was necessary to take a bath before she came out there on that show and wash her hair?
Not at all. They wanted her to look like that. She was playing the part. That's the part she plays. She probably looks like that on every show she goes on.
Mm-hmm. Dirty Karen. You're going to be the dirty Karen who knows everything. Like the foreign adversaries. Okay, here's my thing. She's a Karen. If you came in her neighborhood, if she lives somewhere nice, and you came in her neighborhood, Self, and you're going to do crime, you would dress your car up. You'd probably pull up in an Amazon truck, or you would probably pull up, but she doesn't think that the criminals are smart enough to do stuff like that, that any adversary is smart enough to outthink her. What I'm saying is you'll show up looking like a plumber. You'll show up like you should be there in a tow truck.
To your point.
Yeah.
To your point. Criminals are always ahead of the law. They have to make laws after the fact for things that people come up with. So yeah, she is just following a script. She's an actress and she get played to play this role that's her so-called life. And
she literally said, you have nothing to worry about if the news isn't telling you to. I know I'm paraphrasing, but that's literally what she said.
Yeah, it was idiocy. That's why I said that. Nothing she said was sound.
So there's no history of the media lying or being wrong, like with the whole weapons of mass destruction and stuff like that in Iraq?
It's all a script.
I see.
So once you know it's a script, then you know she's just playing her part. That's what she's up there to do.
So you don't think she even have thoughts like these? You think she's just reading? Do you think she's believing that? Do you think she knows she's reading the script? They got the teleprompter right in front of her.
Well,
or it's
she
not her job to
absolutely
think.
knows. Right. It's not. You learn your script, you learn your role, you learn your part, and you play it.
All right. That's not how, what's his name? I can't think of his name. They said he was a great actor, but he's pink. I'm starting to, think. All right. Mary. Yeah.
Pirate dude.
Him. Brando. The ones they say are so great. Yeah. I bet you they're not just reading the script. What's his name?
No, we're talking about I'm talking about the scripts. The media is taking over where all the TV shows are scripted.
Yeah.
It was not always like that.
No.
Yeah, there was plenty of people that come in and,
Yeah, journalists and question it. Yes.
Real journalism. And investigative journalism.
Yeah.
And it was completely off script. And they were able to, do what they wanted to do. But look at that. And you can tell right away that that's just script. That's, it's.
All right. Mithras Christmas. Esoteric origin. Paganism. All right, we got one more to run, and we're gonna get on the thing here. You guys, nobody has solved the dome teaser yet, except for Brother Wordsmith. In the depths of the earth, my fault. Oh, I'm a little early. It's in the chat. We'll get there later.
Italian police arrested a nun known for her prison work and 24 other people on Thursday as part of an investigation into the 'Ndrangheta mafia in the northern city of Brescia. 3 sources with direct knowledge of the matter told Reuters. They said Sister Anna Dinelli, a volunteer in Milan's San Vittore prison, is suspected of mafia collusion and of acting as a go-between for the criminal group and its jailed gang members. The nun, 57, is also well known for her service in Milan's rundown districts. In February, she was one of the recipients of the Golden Panettone, an annual Milanese civic award. It was not immediately possible to reach the nun's lawyer for comment.
Let me get a
Police
large
press release said
panettone.
2 local politicians were also arrested, and that $1.89 million had been seized in the operation. The statement did not name any of the people targeted by the raid. Suspects are accused of various crimes, including mafia association, vote buying, illegal possession of weapons, money laundering, loan sharking, drug dealing, and false invoicing, the police statement added. The alleged gang was connected to the issuance of 12 million euros worth of invoices for non-existent transactions that enabled complicit entrepreneurs to lower their income and evade taxes in return for a commission paid to mobsters. Originally from the poor southern region of Calabria, the 'Ndrangheta has evolved into Italy's most powerful mafia organization and has spread across Europe and the rest of the world, penetrating into so-called white-collar crime.
What are the chances that she's a lone wolf and the Vatican's not involved?
Well, you know that. Come on.
Where's the big RICO? Well, they're not in America, but the big RICO charge, go all the way up the top and drag the Pope in, and you know what I mean?
It's all a fallacy. It's fairy tales. Anyway, so.
Did you hear what she allegedly had her hands in?
Yeah, I mean, that don't really surprise me. Is she really a nun? That's the question.
Well, this has been going on for years, though. The saints, quote unquote, have been traveling the world, spreading their gospel. And, a lot of times there's a ruse to do such and such. You wonder why China, why that civilization has existed so long, because they don't allow that. They don't allow you to come in there and, you know what I mean, push off your religion on them.
Definitely not no religion, but
they don't allow people to come in there and say, "Hey, we're here to help." We're what do they call them?
Missionaries.
Missionaries. Yeah, they don't be having that, bro. It's a history of the missionaries coming around, and the next day, your nation is toppled.
Oh yeah, they didn't let them in. And then I'm learning that the Great Wall of China was to keep China out. It wasn't it wasn't built by China.
Oh, I could believe that. I'm starting to really believe some things I can't say, but I'll just say this. A lot of the alien abductees, they'll come across the tall pinks, say they drop dead gorgeous. They always say they're all drop dead gorgeous. And then and they say they come across the ones, with the slanty eyes. That's what they say. I'm not saying it. You guys can research it. So again, like we said last week, maybe we're indigenous to this earth. And I'm not saying other people aren't from here.
Well, there is one group of beings that has always been here, and there are other groups that have been seeded from somewhere else. Well, there are a lot of mythology, or for lack of a better of a term, towards why people came from, and
one of them was being chased, like it was a race of them allegedly being chased, by another nation of aliens to punish them for whatever, and they came here and hid and set up shop.
There's Yakub
stories and two
such,
brains. He was an alien.
And sayings of such.
It's funny you mentioned Yakub, because I was gonna bring that up as you was talking, bro. I saw videos of Skeptic, and he was pink. He was trying to go in and disprove Yakub. And the more he went down the rabbit hole,
he couldn't.
He couldn't, bro. That was crazy. He was a skeptic too.
Yeah, right. I'm just saying, when they look up the DNA makeup of those people, it's not our DNA. It's a mashup of some things. It's partially our DNA, though, but it's a mashup of other entities and beings, mainly animals.
After you, Coach said, is the Grinch an alien? Well, after you watch today's pod, you may be on the side of the Grinch. You know, my spidey senses are tingling to the point that they've turned everything around.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
And Moultrie, please look up above. Are you not the Grinch?
Yeah, he does.
So you can answer that for us. You can answer that for us. Actually, is the Grinch an alien?
He only spams. He doesn't eat spam. He only spams.
No, he eats spam more than he spams.
You still eat spam, Coach?
That's his issue.
Yeah, as I wonder. I wouldn't be surprised if he's out in the truck eating some spam. Yeah, watching Fox. Watching Fox, it's spam and some crackers. Wouldn't surprise me at all. All right. Yeah, but that's strange, bro. And you know, and then you got the Pope out there opening up portals. He's opening up some more on Christmas Eve.
Well, where the Vatican is a very powerful space. I've not been there, but
you mean ley lines and such?
Yes. I have not been there, but I've been to ley lines, and it's said, and they draw the ley lines, and it's said that it's on a intersection of more than one ley line. So there's a lot of power there and a lot of access to the back side of the simulation, where you can manipulate things and do things where you can't do anywhere else.
Yeah. All right. Mysterious car-sized drone footage. Wait a minute. That's not what we're on. Wrong topic. Mithras Christmas. Esoteric origin. Paganism. That's what we're on today. All right. Dome teaser. In the depths of the earth, my followers meet. A God of light and truth. Their path I complete. With a bull at my feet, my story is told. Who am I in temples hidden, and old? That suggests it's still, you know. All right, it's up in the chat. You guys can clearly read. I know you're literate. Brother Wordsmith has solved it. And if you guys don't get it, but if you listen closely during the show, you should be able to figure it out. But if you don't, Brother Wordsmith will give you the answer at the end. All right, bro. Enough of the appetizers out there.
Let's quench the self-love nation's thirst.
All right, y'all. Like, share, subscribe. We're getting on topic. Mithras Christmas. Talmud. You got the veil over your eyes out there. You look at me and you say he's got the veil over his eyes.
No, these are glasses.
Yeah.
Is Karen supposed to be playing something?
Yeah. What's wrong with Karen?
I don't know.
Karen, we do this every week. You know what I mean? Big ups to Karen. December 25th, we'll know. But on Christmas Eve,
show just a couple of the doors that Pope Francis will open during the Jubilee year.
We're going to cover the nun, the mafia, and the Vatican.
Italian police arrested a nun known for her prison work and 24 other people on Thursday as part of an investigation into the 'Ndrangheta mafia in the northern city of Brescia.
Which nun?
This is the winter solstice. And so when the sun starts to come out, the people now are looking at the sun as a life-giving force. A number of ceremonies were held in northern countries. In the far north was the Feast of the 12 Nights, which stretched from December 25th to January 6th.
He's a nun and a gangster, bro.
Their whole situation is, I don't even want to.
December 25th, we'll know. But And to love yourself is to love others. To love others is to love yourself. All
right,
and so
Karen.
if you don't speak negatively in your... All right. Get off the phone with 12, Karen. Yeah, man. Silent Night, Holy Night, bro. That, no, not that one. The 12 Nights of Christmas. He told me it was because of the disciples. And I couldn't realize it's all basically sun worship, allegedly.
Yeah, I mean, that's why they made it 12 months.
Yeah.
Because 13 would, be all of the zodiac and the sun, and the 12 disciples and the sun.
Did you know they say the ancient Egyptians, not the ones that they claim built the pyramids, but the Kemet, that they were basing their time or their calendar off of
13 months.
Sirius A.
Hmm.
Yeah, they didn't base it off the sun. They based it off Sirius A, which I've got to deep dive into that more.
That doesn't.
Well, they lined up the pyramids with Orion's belt, which points right at Sirius A.
All
and
of this Sirius, right? All three of them, right? A, B, and C. That's why there's three there.
Yeah, but it's pointing right at the bright star. It's a representation of how they're laid out, but then it points right at Sirius A. It leads you, if you follow Orion's, it's going to lead you right to Sirius A. And I'm saying, I just, you got the Dogon, of course. I mean, it gives you, pause. That's what it does. My niece Rena is here listening. She says, hi, coaches. Happy holidays, Rena, and Merry Mithras. Merry Mithras.
Hey, Rena.
Yeah, the 12 months, the 12 nights is, yeah. All right, but
it's all leading to the 13, though.
Yeah.
That's what it's all leading to.
Yep. All right, Coach. You say we're the Grinch. We're going to talk about some happy Christmas traditions that we all enjoy. I'll start out with one: the mistletoe. The mistletoe. They like to take that mistletoe out there and put it up, and then give love to people and stuff like that. And kiss under the mistletoe and stuff like that. That's a fun, happy tradition, and I'm sure that would make Joshua so proud of everyone. The Elohim too. What's another one? Any other tradition, Self, that most people?
The Christmas tree and the ornaments.
Let's start with the tree. The Christmas tree. I got a live tree. I don't get no fake tree. So we go out there and we commit murder against a conscious, feeling being, and it's been proven that when you talk to these beings, they respond to you.
You know what the ornaments were too.
Well, we're gonna get there. Hold that thought. But I'm saying these are real, feeling, passionate beings, humble beings, and they provide us with the necessary oxygen we need and more. They do things to that soil out there so we can grow our food. But we go out there and we chop that down in the spirit of the Elohim and in the spirit of Yahshua. Talk to me about the ornaments there, fella.
Well, traditionally, the ornaments were the heads of enemies.
Wow. I imagine there was a lot of cannibalism going on at this time, too.
I don't know. I mean, it's very possible and probably probable with these beings.
Just last week, it was an article on a reputable news site. They found all these bones in Yeah, those people over there in Europe in those drop dead gorgeous countries, they were just eating the crap out of people. They were just, and it wasn't, and they said they did the research. It wasn't because they were short food or nothing of that nature, bro. They were eating people.
Well, they in the beginning stages, like most of them was on all fours and couldn't really stand the light.
Well, do you know how sick that is?
Well, they're not the same as us. I mean, it's close, but yeah, I don't even know if it's.
Do lions attack
cannibalism.
lions? Do lions attack
Yes.
lions and eat lions?
I don't know if they eat them, but they definitely.
No. That's
they
why I was trying to
definitely-
finish my statement. Yeah,
They definitely kill them.
yeah, but they don't hunt lions
No.
for food.
Okay, so you're considering them the same as us, and I'm saying that they're not. I'm saying that there's something different.
We're saying the same thing. I'm just positing questions.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No.
And right, so I mean, like I can't look at like I got 2 cats at home. I've just never seen a cat hunt down another cat. Maybe dogs do it. No. No, they would get together and go find their prey. I don't know.
Wolves hunt dogs.
Yeah, but they're different. To your point,
They're
different.
They're the same as we are to
Correct.
so-called chimpanzees.
And probably the same as we are to those who aren't like us.
And we're probably closer to chimpanzees than we are to those things.
That's my point. That's our point.
Yes.
All right, I got one for you. The gift giving. We go out all at once and buy stuff and we give stuff to people. So exchanging presents with our loved ones, and we'll leave them under that Christmas tree. And to paint a picture, maybe it had your enemies, your ops' heads on it. Maybe you're dining on them for Christmas dinner. Or in stockings too. What's the stockings all about? I never understood that. Yeah, I'll ask ChatGPT while you're.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure about the stockings, but it has to. Yeah, I know this, but I can't think of it. It's
Yeah. All right, here we go. What is the significance? They should be telling me this when I'm growing up.
Man, the whole story is just all these stories are fairy tales, man.
I'm sure I asked the questions. Hey, shut up, boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all fairy tale because they can't tell you because it's
that's your go-to. Whenever they tell you shut up, they don't know. All right. The tradition of hanging Christmas stockings is rich in history, blah, blah, blah. Legend of St. Nicholas. The most popular story behind Christmas stockings is linked to St. Nicholas, the 4th century bishop of Myra, modern-day Turkey. According to one version of the legend, St. Nicholas
Myra's quite close to Mithras.
St. Nicholas heard of a poor family with 3 daughters who could not afford dowries for marriage. In secret, he dropped gold coins out there that he probably got from somewhere down their chimney, which landed in their stockings or shoes that were drying by the fire. This act of generosity became associated with gift giving during Christmas. Stockings are often seen as a symbol of generosity and the spirit of giving, particularly in Western Christian cultures. The idea is that stockings are filled with small gifts and treats, often by Santa Claus or other gift bringers, as a reflection of the giving nature of holiday. And Santa is an acronym for Satan. The role of Santa Claus. In the context of Santa Claus or Father Christmas, stockings are believed to be a convenient place for him to leave small gifts, candy, or toys. All right. That's enough. warmth, love, blah, blah, blah.
Like I said, fairy tales and nonsense.
All right, Santa Claus. All right, jolly old figure. It's a big tradition telling your kids about children about Santa Claus at the app.
One of the first betrayals.
Oh yeah,
your children start to learn that you lied to them about.
Yeah. What else are you lying about?
Yes.
Yeah. Caroling. Be like, some people they go out there and they sing Christmas carols door to door or at festive gatherings. Any other things you can remember doing at Christmas?
I didn't do it, but chestnuts roasting over an open fire.
Oh yeah.
Jack Frost nipping at your nose.
Cocaine nipping at your nose. Let's see here. Christmas dinner. A special meal enjoyed with family and friends, usually featuring traditional meats like ham, turkey, and various desserts out there. Ham.
Yeah.
You got your nativity scenes. You got the baby Jesus in the manger.
Baby who? Jesus?
I mean, we're talking about Christmas here. You know what I mean? We're discussing Christmas and the traditions.
That word. You said who? Jesus?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. JUSUS.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
So they display scenes that depict the birth of Jesus Christ, often with figurines of the Mother Mary, the mother of the Elohim, Joseph. So that would make Mary the mother of the universe. Joseph, the stepdaddy, and baby Jesus in a manger.
And when was this?
We'll get there. Why were they in the manger? Is that like why weren't they in the house? All right.
There was no place in the inn, so they had to stay in the manger.
Is that the story?
Yeah.
Was that the story?
Yes. There was no place in the inn, so they
all right. That's good information.
Yeah. According to the Bible.
So he stayed out there with the sheep and animals where they were safe. Holiday lights.
I'm not sure.
That's
a good question.
Well, they didn't have those back in the pagan days, allegedly, but I'm sure they probably were lighting candles, and then now they probably lit everything up. That's probably what it was, since it's the darkest day of the year.
I don't know. They built pyramids. I think they had technology.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the pagans.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't always religion, so pagans are people that are non-religious.
But the pyramids were built thousands of years. All right. But I'm saying, okay,
all the stories in the Bible are way older, and the Bible took stories from everywhere and put it together. So that's
the
era, about the real thing, not just this.
The era I'm focusing on. They said that they would light candles on the trees. So if they lit candles on the trees, then potentially, since this is
not potentially, it would burn the fucking tree down. I mean,
Well, I'm sure that happens sometimes. We lit candles in our homes and it burned our homes down. But let me just finish my thought experiment before you rebuttal. The point of this thought experiment is that potentially, since it was the darkest day of the year, maybe they lit the town up with lights. That's what I'm saying. That's what spirit is telling me, And maybe since now we have electricity, we just do it with lights. That's all. No one's discounting that we had tech back in the day. But there was obviously a time where we didn't have tech. And you're not telling me they had electricity during the Roman days. Well, maybe you are.
Yeah, well, not necessarily electricity, but they had lights and power and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Christmas cards. I got a Christmas card today. Big ups today. Christmas cards. More tree chopping.
You know,
You make the cards out of paper.
I'm just saying, I agreed. The people that in control of things want to use all the resources till it's gone and have it all messed up. And instead of using better options.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like what Elon Musk is talking about. These are finite resources, and our tech's going to get to a point where we can go to another planet and terraform that planet, like maybe some people did when they came here, or maybe they've been in the process of doing that, and then we'll go to the other planet and do the same and strip it of all its resources, and then when that planet is done, we'll do it. I mean, that's such a capitalistic.
More than capitalistic, that's what the pink people of this place have done. They travel to different places, use up all the resources, and then move to another place where they can use the resources.
Don't forget, when you get there, you got to call them savages.
Oh no, you just gotta use the media. Once you take over the media, everything is in your direction. And
yeah, but it's easy
what's going on here.
It's easy to get people to do evil stuff when you program them that the other people are savages or lesser than or subhuman.
Use of the media.
Yeah,
exactly.
You can even eat them.
And they have.
So those are the eggnog, my family. I'm not going to give the family brew here, but we had a smart eggnog, bro. It's still part of my tradition. I may go get a bottle or something. I may even add in that little trick I learned from making the Kappa punch. That'll probably take it to a whole another level. Yeah, but stuff like that, right? Partying. I can't think of much else. Christmas. Now it's what? Watching the NBA, NFL, whatever.
Just family gatherings.
Yeah, having a Yuletide. Having a Yuletide and a great time. Yuletide. We use these words. Brother Wordsmith talks about the words of power. We don't even know what the words mean. And kids are always asking. Aren't kids always asking when they come in this? What does that mean? What does that mean?
A lot of them ain't no more, but I know we did as children.
Well,
yeah, and they have access to it. They don't have to ask no adult. They can Google it.
And a lot of them don't.
A lot of them don't. Some do.
I'd be like, why don't you just say Google it? Yeah. So we just wanted to cover that to let everybody know that, hey, we understand what Mithras is about. But do you understand what Mithras is about?
The Self Luv Show, giving you more than
vitamins and minerals.
My bad. I was trying to get to the beat.
It's all good. Yes, y'all. It don't stop. The Self Luv Show rocks on. Mithras Christmas. Esoteric origin, paganism. Well, we're going to get into it. Talked about some early things and some traditions or whatever, but we're going to get into the meat of it. Y'all know how we do. And we shall be back in a few. Check out these videos we got for you.
And to love yourself is to love others. To love others is to love yourself. And so if you don't speak negatively in your mind and out of your mouth about yourself, it's going to become next to impossible to do that about someone else.
Once you realize the science of self, because we're all part of the same being, and we're the cells of the creator, and we should treat each other as such and accordingly.
And know that words and thoughts are vibrations.
They are things. They are actual things. They are actually...
They exist.
Yeah, and people feel them whether you know they do or don't. Whether they know you or don't. It's all in the vibe or vibrations.
Yeah, but if you got a calcified third eye, you know what
it's
I mean?
Still stuff you feel.
All you want is product. I'm not denying it. I'm just saying. There's a lot of calcification out here.
Yeah, they still feel it.
Moses fleeing the people from Pharaoh.
Right, let my people go.
40 years in a desert.
Manna.
Let's talk about what manna truly is. And
the Agnostics in the Middle East right now saying manna is Peter.
Can we put some sensibility to that? Being in the desert, and our Father, the Creator, loves us beyond. He's gonna rain down bread in a desert. Moses summoned the strongest men for them to dig, and that's where the whole term of so it is above, so it is what?
Below.
That means that Moses had the science for them to dig and find water.
Yeah, like the elephants can do.
So what do you find even in the desert when you dig down and find water? Do you find bread or do you find plants?
Why did you decide to use hip hop or music as a vehicle?
I could say my uncle, Parrish, he had to turn, that's his age group, the turntables, the B-boys, you feel me, he a little older than me. So they was doing that in the rooms, man. And I was like, yo, I was intrigued by that, man, watching Rap City every Saturday over my grandma's house. My other uncle, Robert Morrison, he got a Grammy, bro. He's a producer, bro. He's like a house producer, bro, R&B. So he did a lot of stuff with like Maurice Joshua, all them house cats, man. He got a Grammy for that. So that was a part of me, man. Music in my family, bro. Like my great grandma was a poet, so it came from that, And my uncles, my pops, they had like they was like the Jackson 5 type shit. Y'all can hear that in the background?
Yeah. I heard after the shots 12 rolling, late too.
I heard the last of the shots when you said, man, they shooting.
Yeah, you heard that? Yeah.
Man down. Prince, Michael Jackson. Prince or Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. or Malcolm X?
Malcolm X.
Fred Hampton, JFK.
Ooh. I'm pass.
George W. Bush or Donald J. Trump?
Bush.
Pookie Doe, the habitual criminal, or the one that took the oath and hides behind a badge and works for white supremacy? The Oklahoma Sooners or the Nebraska Cornhuskers? Your whole governorship is resting on this answer.
Oh, that's right, Sooners.
The king of rock and roll or Elvis Presley?
Oh, who is the king of rock and roll?
Tutti Frutti. Oh, Rudy.
Yeah, Little Richard.
I could be, by the airport, and it could be 70 degrees by the airport, and as soon as you come up over that hill on the 101 or the 405, and you feel that heat, now you're like sitting in it, and you have to now wait for the climate to adjust based on the. So if that's happening in nature, then it's happening in our body. We're a part of nature. We're all connected. And that, when you shift in that way, you then begin to operate differently. And so I began to understand that every component of my life, everything that I thought I could control, I had no control over. And the things that I could control, I began to focus more on. And that was my attitude. That is my relationship with myself and God and me. That is my, like you said, the spiritual principles. That's getting back to scripture. That's going back to all resources that have been available and accessible to us all.
Man, I thank you guys for inviting me on. Thank you. Great format, very solid. You know, it don't have that low budget movie feel. You know what I'm saying? And we get that a lot in the Black community, for real.
Yeah.
Like people look at us to be fuck ups. They look at us to be low budget. They look at us to be ignorant, stuttering, and use a whole bunch of and all of that. But no, they got the real deal on here. That everybody know who Torian Mills is, baby. They know.
Hey, well, bro.
They're so ignorant.
Ignorant.
They're so
Hey, but this platform's
Your
your platform. This platform's my platform. From Inglewood, California to
the
Chicago,
South Shore.
Crazy thing about it.
This platform is
made for you and me.
It's made for you.
The crazy
ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. I was trying to get out the end of the preamble, but go ahead, bro.
Yes, y'all. It don't stop.
The Self Love Show, the Self Love Show, the Self Love Show. Wordsmith 9 Mills, the Self Love Show, the Self Love Show. You know how the story go. It's the Self Love Show.
Self Love Show rocks on. And we're back. Mithras Christmas, esoteric origin, paganism on the Self Love Show. If you're just joining, you know how we do. Early part of the show, we go into early part of the discussion and bring everybody up to date. And now it's time to dig in.
Tory Wordsmith 9 Mills. All right. Well, you brought this up. I guess it's only appropriate. And I'm going to tell you the canned definition of pagan, and then we'll talk about who were the pagans, who are pagans. The term pagan was originally allegedly used by early Christians to describe people in the Roman Empire who practiced polytheism or ethnic religions other than Judaism. Over time, it came to refer to anyone who followed religious beliefs outside of the main world religions, such as Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. That definition, that's right. So, would you consider yourself a pagan?
I don't deal with their definitions of what I am, but I do not believe in anybody's religion.
Yeah, according to them, you're a pagan.
I don't care what they call me. It's what you answer to.
So anyone who celebrates Christmas is they're not pagans?
I don't know. They don't know what they celebrating. It's not my business. I don't celebrate it. What I do is a family gathering, and I enjoy spending time with my family, so I take advantage of that opportunity. But I'm not celebrating what they call Christmas. I kind of like that it's Xmas. They put Xmas.
Yeah, I'm just asking, generally speaking. So
I did celebrate at one point in time. I wasn't always aware. I was following family traditions and such.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like people call Christmas a pagan holiday when, in fact, is it, which we're going to break down, is it both? Is it some sort of hybrid? So paganism encompasses a wide variety of traditions that emphasize reverence for nature and the worship of multi-gods or goddesses. Pagan traditions often include rituals and celebrations tied to natural phenomena, such as the changing of the seasons and agricultural cycles. These practices were deeply rooted in the cultures of ancient civilizations, our ancestors, and have influenced modern pagan movements, which seek to revive and reinterpret these ancient beliefs. Today, modern pagans, also known as neo-pagans, that's what you probably are, Self. You're probably a neo-pagan, continue to practice a diverse range of spiritual paths.
I'm not their definition, so I mean, I understand what you're saying, whatever, but I don't self-identify as a pagan because
They got all these
it's
terms.
because they created it. That's why.
I know, I got you. Continue to practice a diverse range of spiritual paths, including Wicca, Druidry, and Asatru, among others. They often draw inspiration from pre-Christian European religions and emphasize a connection to nature and the spiritual world. I mean, yeah, I mean, if you don't identify to one of those, you're not drawing off one of those per se. And I mean, I believe in nature, spirituality.
Yeah, I don't believe I'm a pagan though, because
Right.
they defined it as such. But yes,
Correct.
we created all of these things before they called them pagans. So that's the problem I'm having with it.
Need some sort of infidel.
Yeah.
All right. Who was Mithras, and on what day was he born? Let's talk Mithras.
I know Mithras' birthday is December 25th.
Yeah, that's right, everybody. Mithras was born. So to your point, Coach, there's no record of when Jesus was born, although I believe it was in March. Mithras, we have a record of that. And Mithras was born on December 25th, ladies and gentlemen. And please feel free to fact check.
Take long.
Yeah. So Mithras, also known as Mithra, was an ancient Iranian deity associated with covenants, light, oaths, justice, the sun, contracts, and friendship. In pre-Zoroastrian Iran, Mithra was revered as a god of mutual obligations and truth. The Romans later adopted and adapted Mithraism, a mystery religion centered on the worship of Mithras during the 2nd and 3rd centuries CE. Mithras was often depicted in iconography as slaying a bull, an act that held significant ritualistic importance within the cult. I have reason to believe Mithraism has never stopped.
Sure, it hasn't. They like the quote that the Christian church has in Nicaea when they took certain books out and decided what was going in the Bible. They also accepted and added a bunch of holidays that aligned with other people's celebrations and festivals that were not Christian and meshed them together to be able to make everybody say they under the same religion.
Okay. Creeper says Santa goes straight to the ghetto, and then Mochi says Santa don't come straight to the ghetto, the Grinch does. Is that you?
Yeah,
because you celebrated Christmas, your family. I don't know. I wasn't there. Brother Wordsmith was there. Did he have toys and stuff under the tree?
Yeah, I mean, he's celebrating Christmas now. He said Wherever he's at, his family's together. And Satan does go straight to the ghetto. He mix those letters around. Y'all keep calling Santa. It ain't no it's Satan. It's the same fucking. Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah. What is it? Anacronym? Anagram? Anacronym. Yeah.
Acronym. No, it ain't an acronym.
Anacronym.
Okay.
Santa goes straight to the ghetto. That's a song he was referring to.
Yeah, he's DJ. That's
my
brother.
I know who Creeper is. All right.
I know you do. That's for sure. I was just giving him up.
Yeah. All right. Now, the Roman military, Brother Wordsmith. It was popular amongst the military, Mithraism. I'm starting to believe Mithra was some sort, he wasn't a god. He was some sort of rich person, king, and then he propped it up like they do the billionaires today. But anyway, among the Roman military and featured a complex system of 7 grades of initiation and communal ritual meals. Worshippers were known as the Syndexchoi, and that means self united by handshake. They gathered in underground temples called Mithraea. Despite its widespread popularity, Mithraism faced persecution from Christians in the 4th century and was eventually suppressed and eliminated within the Roman Empire. How did they suppress it? Through kind words and
Oh no. Killed everybody that they know was associated with it.
and then told a story of their persecution.
Yeah.
Right? And then said they were persecuted like the way they persecuted the Mithras.
Yes.
And there's a reason you get persecuted sometimes, and I'm not justifying persecution, but if you're out there slaughtering people and persecuting them and then you get persecuted, I mean, it's kind of like Israel and Iran now. Whoa, I can't say that. Whoa. We're at a crossroads, bro. Something's going to happen. Something's about to happen. All right. You know anything about their rituals? You know, the Mithras had a ritual.
I read about it earlier, but I can't.
It's all right. The Ritz. It was they had a lot of secretive and complex rituals, which was conducted in underground temples. Probably had to go underground because they were being persecuted. The rituals were believed to bring about renewal and salvation. The scene often included other elements, such as a dog, a snake, a scorpion, and a raven, each symbolizing different aspects of the cosmos in the ritual itself. Initiates, known as Sindochi, united by handshake, underwent a series of 7 grades of initiation, each with its own set of rituals and teachings. These rituals were designed to strengthen the bond between the initiates and the divine, as well as impart the mysteries of the faith. Communal meals, often featuring bread and wine, were also a significant part of the rituals, symbolizing a shared bond and unity amongst the members. The rituals of Mithraism were highly symbolic and aimed at fostering a deep connection with the divine, emphasizing themes of loyalty, justice, and the cyclical nature of life and death. Despite the scarcity of written records, the archaeological evidence, including carvings, reliefs, and Mithrae, provides valuable insights into the practices and beliefs of this enigmatic cult, which is allegedly out of business. Yeah, they had rituals, and they were breaking bread and drinking wine, the blood of Mithras. To your point earlier about, you know, these traditions have been going on forever.
Yeah. We can call it different things by different names, and it's
We repackaged it and we under new management.
Man.
We hired a new CEO and his name is Jesus.
Jesus.
Yeah. And go kill. In his name.
It is
All
the
of the
most
savages.
powerful name ever. Jesus. Jesus. I don't know how I translated to that, but
you hear this sound here?
Came out of Rome. It's
You hear that? We had Karen pull up some ram sounds when you start ramming stuff. We're gonna anyone comes on TATN, even when we're doing our interviews, and it just start repeating and ramming
3 times, man. I'm gonna say it at least 3 times. So. And I am ramming it.
I mean, point made, point taken. What were the ancient traditions? A Yule log, which I never knew what the Yule was, Self. It's a large log. A large log was burned to symbolize the warmth and the light of the returning sun. That's what I was suggesting earlier. The ashes were often used in rituals to promote fertility and protection. Sounds like what they've labeled as witchcraft and voodoo.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where they got off into that, because a whole lot of stuff in the Old Testament was them doing things of that nature. So it really got crazy when Christians are persecuting people in the Bible or whatever, because there was a whole lot of, if you read the Bible, I mean, you can see through it and feel it, and there's a lot of supernatural things happen. I mean, I don't understand why.
Oh yeah, and they were sacrificing animals.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
To please the Elohim. That's why they were doing it. In their minds, or
yeah. I mean, I'm not sure it was those.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's what the Elohim ever wanted.
Right. Or yeah.
Or if it's a different Elohim that they're praying to.
Yeah.
You know, or it's dark and light. I mean, I don't know. It's part of my programming. Feasting and merrymaking. So during these celebrations, communities gathered to celebrate with feasts, music. They had radio and dancing, honoring the return of light and the promise of spring. Kind of like, y'all do in Chicago. You're waiting for that spring thaw. Evergreen decorations, evergreen trees, and plants were brought indoors to symbolize eternal life and the enduring power of nature. You chop that down at the end.
Yeah, that's what that don't make sense. Enduring life for eternity, but you kill it
and throw it outside
to show it as an ornament.
Yeah, and they have them in churches. So they have these trees. They chop down these trees and they put them in churches as a symbol of the Elohim. Gift giving, they exchanged gifts. It was a way to show appreciation and strengthen social bonds during the darkest times of the year. And, I'm sure food was scarce. You wait, you're short. You know what I mean? You're waiting for that. You know what I mean? You've been eating all winter. Rituals of renewal. Various rituals were performed to cleanse the old year and welcome the new, including bonfires out there. You ever been to a bonfire? I like bonfires.
Oh yeah, we
used
to have bonfires every Thanksgiving on the
land.
Yeah, but land in Mississippi.
Yeah. Bonfires. You can't go wrong with a bonfire. People see a lot of weird stuff when that fire's going. Candle lighting and offerings to deities. So I just wanted to kind of marry, and which we kind of did earlier, those previous traditions with some of the stuff we're doing today. And I mean, we kind of said it. Have they just been repackaging? But if so, you're going to repackage that out there. You're under new management. And you know how that goes. So if you see it over there on Stony Island, that same motel is sitting there always under new management every other week. Ain't nothing changed.
And not even the management.
They probably got sued. There's a lot of litigation.
The same thing going on over here, boy. Because I'm telling you, they don't care at all. They just ram the same sour service that they've been ramming.
And that's what makes the Pope so powerful. They control money and God. You know what I'm saying? They don't control God.
To people, relatively.
Yeah.
A lot of people's view. They see him as God on the earth.
Yeah. And the only way they can get to God is through him. And which is what Yeshua came back and told the people, you don't need none of that.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay that person. And,
before there was a Pope, actually.
Yeah. Look within. What was there before the Vatican? That's a good question.
It's a ley line, so I'm telling you, it was
temple. Had to be a temple, huh? I wouldn't be surprised.
Pardon me. And when I went to Mexico City, they had they had a square that was it was an imitation, or it was lined up and just like the Vatican. And it was on a ley line because it was pyramids under there. Somebody had come over there, colonization people, and made it out to look just like the Vatican or whatever. And it was over a ley line. It was pyramids under there. So I don't know. In the Vatican, I'm thinking something similar. They got from visually seeing what's supposedly there, because I ain't been, but they got an obelisk.
They say DC is on a ley line too.
Yeah, definitely.
And none of those places are part of anything. They're their own,
nation states.
Yeah. Yeah.
Both of them. And they're in the collision of ley lines. Both of those places.
Wait a second. Before it became the independent state of Vatican City in 1929, the area had a long and complex history that intertwined with the development of the Catholic Church and the papacy. Ancient Rome. In ancient times, the area where Vatican City now stands was part of the Ager Vaticanus, meaning Vatican Field, a marshy, largely undeveloped region on the outskirts of ancient Rome. This area was not part of the core city of Rome, but lay to the west of the Tiber River. St. Peter's execution area became significant for Christians because it is traditionally believed to be the site of St. Peter's martyrdom and burial around 64 AD. During the reign of Emperor Nero, Peter, one of Jesus Christ's apostles and the first pope. Oh, I think I knew that. I'm sure you knew that. Interesting. Was he copper colored? He had to be copper colored.
Yeah, more than likely.
Had to be.
I mean,
all right.
Rome, all of them. These other people came out of those later.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised 100 years from now, like for instance, you might see a fraternity that was traditionally black or copper colored, and it'd be all white. And then 500 years from now, you'd have no record of all the founders would be white people.
Michael Jordan.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
First, St. Peter's Basilica. Emperor Constantine I. Okay, I think enough of that. The land became Vatican City, a vast territory. Okay, ruled by the Pope. Okay, Constantine in the early 4th century built the first St. Peter's Basilica over the site of Peter's tomb. This basilica became one of the holiest sites in Christianity and a major destination for the pilgrims. Pilgrims, huh? Same pilgrims that came here. And, hey, pilgrim, what's up, pilgrim? You know what I mean? Vast territory in central Italy that was ruled by the Pope. Okay, 754 AD. Pope Stephen II received the land. Yeah, it's way before 19, whatever they try to say, in central Italy from the Frankish king Pepin the Short. Oh, he's a gangster, King Pepin the Short. This land donation, known as the Donation of Pepin, marked the beginning of the Papal States, a temporal dominion that would last for over a millennia. Over time, the Papal States expanded, encompassing much of central Italy, including the area around Rome. St. Peter's and the Pope's authority. The Vatican area continued to be of central importance to the papacy, both religiously and politically, especially after the establishment of St. Peter's Basilica. The Papal States grew in influence, and the Pope became not only a religious leader, but also a temporal ruler of a significant territory. All right. So they claim it was just marshland on the edge of town, which would make you wonder, like, why would you want to build on marshland? I guess you could say that's because the Apostle Peter was martyred there, or you could say that's a metaphor for ley lines.
Period. There was a ley line, and that's why the the energy, like when I've been to a couple of places on ley lines, and the energy is way different. Oh my God, like it's highly amplified. You know, I'm kind of an empath, so I'm sensitive to that. And my goodness, it's off the chain. The places I've been in the ley lines with in Mexico City, I knew it was pyramids there under the ground. They had told me, but I was like, the way I felt when I was there was incredible. It was intersection of ley lines.
Creeper said, I'm not in the ghetto. LOL, I'm middle class. You know anything about Saturnalia? I think we did a show on Saturn worship some years ago. But Saturnalia, I hadn't heard that term until I went down this rabbit hole. How is that influencing traditions, Christmas tradition?
I'm not sure.
Well, it's my understanding it was an ancient festival in Rome.
Oh, yeah.
Held in honor of Saturn, which is the god of agriculture and time. They always link agriculture and time because that was the whole point of agriculture and mathematics. Mathematics started because of agricultural reasons, allegedly. And he's the god of agriculture and time because they based everything. That was the money shot, Self. You had to plant those seeds at the right time. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was going to die. There's no more time important than that, I suppose. Celebrated around the winter solstice. It involved feasting, gift giving, and a temporary reversal of social roles. Really? We don't get that no more. They had a little turnabout. I'm the mayor. Everybody can park wherever they want. You know what I mean?
Oh, get sued tomorrow though.
Yeah, I won't be the mayor no more. It's a turnabout. And you know, they'll make that go away. All right. Celebrated around the winter solstice. It involved feasting, gift giving, all right, and turnabout. Many Christian Christmas traditions such as decorating with greenery, exchanging gifts, and festive gatherings have roots in Saturn worship. Nobody wants to talk about this. I didn't hear about this in Sunday school. Not once did I hear about any of this in Sunday school.
Yeah, you're a lot of fairy tales though. Sunday school taught a lot of them. History's taught a lot of them. Yeah. A lot of fairy tales going on.
Fables. And then the fables self, they turn out to be true. Many of them.
Yeah, they're much older stories too. A lot of them they turn to fables, act like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So,
like the little boy who cried wolf. I was discussing with somebody what Trump's response was to the whole drone thing. Well, he lies about everything. Yeah, I fucked up. I was like, and that's what they said about the little boy who cried wolf and Chicken Little out there. You know what I'm saying? That's, just because he lying 99% of the time.
1%.
And they'll allow somebody like that because the truth has to come out. And they'll allow it to come out of somebody like that mouth because most of the sheep are just doing what the news told them to believe. The lady told you right there. She don't even wash her hair. Guarantee you when she take a shower, she makes a big production out of it and tells everybody, I'm about to take my shower. Yeah, I had my shower today. All right.
Monthly.
Yeah. Well, they make a big deal out of the shower. They want everybody to know. Yeah, I just got a shower. I just washed my hair. I'd be like, so what? Like, ain't that regular? Like, All right. All right. December 25th. We mentioned Mithras's birthday, but there's another thing associated with that day, bro.
I don't know. You said it? Winter solstice? Solstice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Solstice, yeah.
But it was a festival they called Sol Invictus. Interesting, huh?
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Very.
Out of the darkness that covers me.
Mm-hmm.
Black as a pit from pole to pole. All right. Which celebrated the unconquered sun and coincided with the winter solstice, to your point, by aligning Christmas with this date. Early Christians could incorporate existing pagan celebrations into their own religious observances, making a transition smoother for converts. Was that some sort of deal, or are they just lying because these same traditions apparently just keep getting repackaged, religion after religion?
I think partially both. I mean, like they went through a rebranding in Nicaea. They cut books out that they had considered, and added some books, but they cut out books and decided that things and add all of these a bunch of stuff that wasn't originally part of the Christianity.
I guess I can see your point. Somebody comes to the United States or to the quote ghetto and imposes their will on us. I mean, they're going to have to smooth it. Yeah, they can smoke a little of this. Yeah, they can, wash their greens in the toilet. No, I mean, in the bathtub. You know what I mean? Yeah, they can bring greens to the feast. So I see what you're saying. Like certain things are so ingrained in people that you can't stop it.
No, they even it's cognitive dissonance because they are really running their family traditions, and a lot of people will stand on that forever. If they
Right.
family is loving and they got a clan,
Kind of like us
stand
now.
on that. Yeah,
Kind of like us now with Christmas.
they don't stand on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of like the reason why we still vote Democrat. Like dutiful little sheep.
Stand on that. I don't, but you know how that go.
And during Saturnalia, people exchanged gifts such as candles, pottery, figurines, and nuts. I remember my paternal grandmother. She always had nuts for Christmas. Even my grandmother, they were more
Yeah.
closer to the traditions. All those different nuts in that little thing,
Yeah.
walnuts, and
All my family. Yep.
yeah.
And from the 17th to the 23rd, huh?
Yeah. And it said the practice of giving gifts was adopted and adapted by the Christians. So the Christians weren't even about that giving life. They adopted that from the pagans. All right, we'll let you guys keep helping each other out at the end of winter. Who incorporated it into the celebration of Christmas as a way to honor the birth of Jesus. All right.
And it was all about some capitalism. I don't know about all this stuff they add.
And share the joy. I agree with that. All right. You got any man, this might rub you the wrong way. We got some what do you call that? Scripture for those who, like you said, their families, and many of their families were reading this book called the Bible, the King James Version of the New Testament, because that's what it was, the King James Version of the New Testament. You know, Mark chapter 7, verses 8 through 9. You have let go of the commands of God and are holding on to human traditions. And he continued, you have a fine way of setting aside the commands of God in order to observe your own traditions. Now, I don't know. This passage highlights the potential conflict between God's commandments and human traditions. Colossians chapter 2, verse 8. See to it that no one takes you captive through hollow and deceptive philosophy, which depends on human tradition and the elemental spiritual forces of this world. Wow. Rather than on Christ. Let me go to that again. See to it that no one takes you captive through hollow and deceptive philosophy, which depends on human tradition and the elemental spiritual forces of this world, rather than on Christ. There's a lot in there. Here, the Apostle Paul warns against being misled by traditions that are not rooted in Christ's teachings. All right. Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 15. So then, brothers and sisters, stand firm and hold fast to the teachings we passed on to you, whether by word of mouth or by letter. Now, in this verse, Paul's apparently encouraging believers to adhere to the teachings and traditions passed down by the apostles. Right.
Saul?
Yeah, Paul.
Yeah, okay.
It's the same name, ain't it?
Huh? I mean, it's the same person. But Saul persecuted Christians and murdered and killed a whole bunch of Christians, and then
repented.
And then became the master writer of the New Testament. He wrote most of it, and it's always struck me strange that he could, change up and change a lot of the religion. I don't know. It's always felt a little strange for me.
Yeah. All right. This is going to be desktop too, I think. Let me see what you see here, Phil. Yeah. Okay. You seeing this document?
Public notice.
Yeah. This is back in the early so-called United States time. So they put up the public notice. We still had a lot of that British influence. We don't have any more British influence now. Public notice. The observation of Christmas having been deemed a sacrilege, the exchanging of gifts and greetings. What's that word? Dressing in fine clothing, feasting, and similar satanical practices are hereby forbidden, with the offender liable to a fine of 5 shillings. This was how early America dealt with Christmas.
Yeah, they probably should have kept on with it.
Yeah. Christmas tree. Evergreen trees to celebrate Tammuz's birthday. Who was Tammuz, so?
It's a so-called being that they say is from over there, but I think it's in the Americas.
Who, Tammuz?
Yeah, I think almost all the stuff they say about the Bible is here. Is places here been named those places longer than it has been in what they say.
So they say he's a figure from ancient Mesopotamian mythology, particularly associated with the Sumerians, Akkadians, Babylonians, and Assyrians. His story is most famously linked to the myth of Inanna or Ishtar and the cycle of seasonal death and rebirth. Tammuz is often portrayed as a god of fertility, agriculture, and the natural cycles of growth and decay, especially the cycles of plant life and the changing seasons. So we cut down these trees.
Ishtar is Easter. So
yeah,
Easter is a playoff of Ishtar, and it doesn't have very much to do with
that's why they had the eggs.
Death and resurrection. Yeah, it don't have nothing to do with the death and the resurrection of
well, it's celebrating what's not the summer solstice. It's you know, yeah, fertility god. His death is thought to represent the dying of crops during the summer heat, and his resurrection symbolizes the renewal and fertility of the earth in the spring. Yeah. Oh, his death symbolized the end of the growing season, while his resurrection symbolized the return of life, the resurrection. One of the most famous myths, Ishtar, the goddess of love, fertility, and war. In this myth, Inanna descends into the underworld where she is trapped and murked. Tammuz's death and descent. In some versions of the myth, they say this about Yahshua. Tammuz, Inanna's lover or consort, also dies, sometimes as a result of her actions or due to his own descent into the underworld. This is seen as a parallel to the dying of nature during the harsh summer months. His death causes the land to become barren. Inanna's journey is the cycle of seasons. So yeah, the Sumerian festival of Tammuz. So yeah, it's like we've been doing the same thing, so for a long time. All right, the boule, ladies and gentlemen. We've got the boule. Now the boule rammed Christmas down the copper-colored throat. Does that surprise you?
Not at all. They're part of the whole system and have always been. It's they're locked in and had some privileges and still do.
Damn,
But
let's see these names. This one's passing. He's not even copper-colored.
we come in all shades of copper.
That's true.
He is. He wouldn't be there.
Okay.
And wait a minute, this one in the bottom, that was really looking like in the bottom corner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, he really, but
Yeah, they be
just
infiltrated.
saying.
They always watch it. Jeremiah chapter 10, verses 2 through 4. Thus says Yahweh, do not learn the way of the Gentiles. Do not be dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the Gentiles are dismayed at them. That could be the drones. For the customs of the peoples are futile. For one cuts a tree from the forest, the work of the hands of the workman with the axe. They decorate it with silver and golds. They fasten it with nails and hammers so that it will not topple. But I'm saying stuff, it's in the Bible that it's even in the Bible that they shouldn't be doing any of these types of celebrations. Like any church worth its salt should not, according to scripture. Okay, here we go. Mark chapter 7, verse 13. Making the word of Elohim of no effect through your tradition, which you have handed down, and many such things you do. So this is actually pushing back self on stop it for a second. This is actually pushing back a little bit on the repackaging. So yeah, there's a revolution. We took over. They let you have your little moment, don't they? Ride them down the street with your AK-47s. We in control. We ran everybody out, and it's just a matter of time before they get the tentacles back into you
and eliminate you, period.
Yeah.
And all of that is to allow you to identify yourself so that it can do what it's, trying to do.
Discredit you.
It's a system. Eliminate you as a threat. And a lot of ways it starts off with humiliation and most times fallacy through media, but it goes further the more you don't comply.
Yeah. And speaking of which, the attorney for the girl that's accusing Jay-Z, the girl suing him now, says she gave him a STD. And
the attorney gave him a STD?
Yeah, gave us and her boyfriend allegedly has text messages, her ex-boyfriend, where she was telling him she would give him $3 million. I guess she was dating him at the time. She was 13. So he could have been 15, 14, She would give him $3 million if he went along with the story. That's why I'm not saying any of that's true, but if we can believe everything else, we got to add that into the mix, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't believe any of this shit. We're gonna see if it pans out. But I know it's not the only person. And like so many people, for the record, said Michael Jackson did this or that and was proven wrong. So,
That's right.
I'm just gonna have to say that for the record, for sure.
That's right. And OJ was framed. All right. Saul Invictus, we talked about that. And that means the unconquered son. Just going through some slides here. Emperor Aurelian. I think that's Saul Invictus. They put him on their money. And that's when you put your God on your money. Who's on our money? Who's on our dollar bills? Is that George Washington?
$1.
Yeah. So that's our God in this scenario of how they've been running the game in Roman times, Greek times. You put your God on the money and then you control the religion. All right, December 25th, birthday of the sun. There it is, Sol Invictus, right there on the money. Right there.
No, go back to that for a second.
Okay.
Look at that. The brother on the coin.
This dude, right? Or this
Look,
dude.
that dude, the dude that's on the coin. Look at that. If that's not us, I don't know what is. I don't think that could be considered.
I don't know. He's got small lips. He's holding his lips back. He's got that pointy nose.
I've got small lips and a pointy nose. Look
Yeah,
at that.
yeah. It's nothing at this but the hair. Yeah, looks
The
like he's got
beard,
a
the
little afro.
beard, and the beard. It don't look like they don't even usually have no facial hair. From that point in time. Like there, that's an example, no facial hair.
Constantine the Great. Now, he said he saw with his own eyes. I think somebody said this is all a lie. He saw with his own eyes the trophy of a cross of light in the heavens above the sun and bearing the inscription, conquer by this. See, God told him, allegedly, to conquer. This guy's a conqueror by the cross. At this sight, he himself was struck with amazement, and his whole army also. That's Eusebius Pamphilus, Bishop of Caesarea, taken from all these books are probably in the Vatican. You don't get access to that. You're not privy. All right, we got some more. False gods born on December 25th. Nimrod, who eventually came to be worshipped as Baal. According to Babylonian traditions, Semaris, later known as the goddess, Astarte, Asherah, Ashtoreth, Isis, Easter, Queen of Heaven, claimed that after the untimely death of her son Tammuz and her husband Nimrod, a full-grown evergreen tree sprang up overnight from a dead tree stump. Semiramis claimed that Nimrod would visit that evergreen tree and leave gifts each year on the anniversary of his birth, which just happened to be on December 25th. This is the true origin of the Christmas tree. Tammuz, born before 2600 BC, December 25th. Krishna of India, 3228 BC, December 25th.
Oh, so many.
Mithra of Persia, before 1500 BC, December 25th. Horus of Egypt, 2500 BC, December 25th. Buddha of India, 563 BC, December 25th. Bedu, Folk, god of the Orient, 1027 BC, December 25th. Quetzalcoatl, god of the Western Hemisphere, 900 BC, December 25th. Hercules, drop dead gorgeous, smart. Son of Zeus, born around 500 BC, December 25th. Attis of Phrygia, born around 1200 BC, December 25th. Osiris, allegedly, Egypt, before 2500 BC, December 25th. What's your take on that? That's your coincidence? What's your take?
That's not a coincidence, and it ain't. It's a representation of when they
Matrix
are expressing to us that the one at times is supposedly born on December 25th.
Well, it looks like this is proving your Matrix theory.
Yes. And I'm not quite sure that the date is correct, but it is interpretations that have been pushed for us so that we move upon that. So They made all of them the same day, which I think is correct. I don't know what it should be called though.
Correct. Like the way they say Yahshua was born December 25th, even though
We know that
most of us
that's
know. Correct. Correct. So it's something about that date that they're going to credit him and say, okay.
yeah.
And that's probably just to reinforce to the people that these are the gods and they're special.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro. Krishna, Buddha, all these are religions. Hermes.
All of this, bro. I'm told you, it's so many. It's more than that's on that list. Like that's how I know that this Bible is adopted and changed because it's all stories that's way older than the Bible could be.
Look at this. Is that the fish person?
Oh,
Right?
no, I don't see something. Are you
Right here. Oh, my fault. You ain't see it. My bad. I mean, right here. This bugger right here.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a hawk. It's
Yeah, it's definitely Hawk. Yeah. But you see, they're all doing the same little thing with their hands. And there's a picture of George Washington doing that same little thing and the Baphomet doing that same little thing.
yeah, because that's all the culture. It's a cult, and a lot of people that move within it.
I've seen Jay-Z and them doing it.
Yeah.
All right, we already listened to Pagan Gods born December 25th. But go ahead. You were saying because I want to show one more picture, but I didn't set it up.
That the myth of December 25th being about Jesus is, a problem because it follows a trail of a whole bunch of people that existed before that. And I'm saying Jesus, I really don't, I ridicule that, but Yahshua was a special being, and I don't know, but I know it's not December 25th. It doesn't make sense. Trying to make sense of the whole December 25th because they've aligned it for a long time, and I don't know that that's spirit. Don't tell me that's completely the day. I think there is a day that most of these beings probably came into the simulation,
But could that be right?
It could be. Could very well be.
I'm saying since they're all doing it, could this just be how the simulation's programmed?
Could be.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just,
Could be, but something doesn't feel right about it.
Right. Right. It feels like it's alien in nature. All right. This is what I was telling you about. This is a heck of a coincidence to have the father of our beloved country. He'd probably watch Fox if he was alive today. And small ups, George Washington. And the Baphomet. Why would you want to be in a statue doing what he's doing? Is this witchcraft? What am I looking at?
I don't know that this was made while George Washington was alive.
True.
First of all. Second of all, they make gods and structures about human worship, and They have been doing that for a while, trying to corrupt.
Well, discount the God in you, but then have you
Yes.
believe that that man's a God,
Yes.
but you're not a God.
Yes.
Now, if you, so to your point, maybe Washington didn't know, but I've seen them do it in music videos. They'll have their stylists and the videographer, the person who produces the video, and they have these, maybe they're ignorant. They can't be that ignorant, but they have these artists wearing certain things and doing certain rituals in their concerts that they could very well not really be aware of it because they haven't gone down into the esoteric history. So the people setting it up know what kind of imaging they're doing, but the actual artists may not even be aware of the images that they're putting out because they're ignorant.
Ignorant.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of us are ignorant in a lot of ways. And if we don't want to be better, we won't. So there's a lot of ignorance in this simulation that's going on. Like,
Speaking of Michael Jackson, huh?
oh man, I saw something that made me laugh so hard, bro. I could not believe this. I guess I want to say gossip because it's so ridiculous. Said that Michael Jackson and Tupac had a scrap.
I can believe it. Michael Jackson was a dog, man. Prince was a dog too.
Yeah,
Man, they from Gary, Indiana. Man, please. All right, let me see.
Yeah, bro. Man, I watched this shit. Tripped me out. I'm like, what? Yeah. But anyway.
All right. Fair use, y'all. We're gonna see if we can get away with this. We're gonna react.
Around December 25th, the people celebrated.
Okay. Now, she definitely doesn't look pink. Not at all.
So that, you know.
They don't necessarily look like copper-colored Americans. They don't even look human.
The winter solstice. And so the winter solstice would come about somewhere from December 21st all the way to around January 6th or so. And so the people of the North would celebrate different holidays, have different occasions based upon the winter solstice. In the wintertime, there is a period where there is no light. You are literally in darkness 24 hours of the day. And this stretches for a period of time. Now, could you imagine if you're living in Alaska or living in Canada or living in Norway and you don't have central heating and the cold is outside, it's darkness around you. People are dying from disease. It's a terrible time, and every family would probably lose somebody, or they would know of somebody dying from the cold and disease during that season. This is the winter solstice. And so when the sun starts to come out.
This makes a lot of sense to me, bro, because there's stray animals and even like people living on the street, a lot of them don't make it through the winter. Boy, they don't make it through the winter, boy. And some of them barely get through, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Food is less, everything.
The people now are looking at the sun as a life-giving force. And so during that time, a number of ceremonies were held in northern countries. In the far north was the Feast of the 12 Nights, which stretched from December 20.
Feast of the 12 Nights, 12 Nights of Christmas.
5th to January 6th. Also in ancient Greece, there was the Bacchanalia, which was held for their god Bacchus, the god of wine and sport and play. The Roman
God, a kicking it, huh? Bacchus?
Yeah, that's not a representation of it though.
Yeah. The god of wine and sport and play.
No way that's
That sounds like the god of the copper color.
yeah, definitely not this image yeah.
That looks demonic.
Romans had the Saturnalia for their god Saturn, their main sun god Saturn. And so you find during these times that the people held ceremonies in the north. They would burn bonfires. The light was important, the fire, because the fire represents the light, the life-giving force for those who worship nature. Also in the north, they recognized that there was one tree that despite the cold would still remain alive, the evergreen tree, the fir tree. And so in some cases they would take this fir tree, believing that there was powers of life within the tree, and they would put it in their homes, set it there and put a light on the top of it, or burn them in the front, or they would make mistletoes and put them over their doorways, a type of what we would call ta'wiz or tamima. It is an amulet. And they would hang the amulet over their doors. Hang the amulets in
Ain't nobody told me this.
their home, hoping that this fir tree, that this so-called life-giving force would protect them from the danger of the winter. And so their ceremonies developed around this. And this went on for hundreds of years. We also find in the ancient northern countries, and the Druids of the north, they carried out special ceremonies surrounding the mistletoe and surrounding the fir tree and the beliefs, and they would meet within circular areas. And they had a secretive cult that spread throughout the far northern countries. One of the interesting individuals, and you can look this up if you can find it in the dictionaries or encyclopedias, is a man called Mithra or Mithras. This is a very mysterious character. And when you look at history,
and you look at these faces, either they're horrible artists. That one's good. Maybe he's got a mask on. These people don't even look they don't even look like they're depicting humans.
Some of that is factual and actual, and some of it is beings trying to show themselves as such. And the structure of everything but the head looks, like a being.
Remind me of the cone heads. Saturday Night Live.
We don't know what's under the hat though, because it could be a regular. We got hats like that, but the hats could be because of those beings.
Yeah, the Pope wears a funny hat like that.
Yeah, you know about that.
you find that this individual called Mithra was born on December 25th. His day of the week was the 7th day of the week that we still call Sunday.
That would be the first day of the week, Sunday.
Right. So it's a lot of things that,
but that does make sense if it's the first day of the week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Because Mithra is bringing in the new cycle.
He was supposed to be the son of the sun god himself, and they had a special sacrament made up of bread and wine, and they would make this drink during this time, and supposedly he died for the sins of the people.
It says they biting? These religions just biting off each other?
Well, there are a lot of things that were going on at the same time. he called different people or whatever, and they've overlapped and gone through time. But this one that we're living in has changed a bunch of stuff from the other ones. If you can understand what I'm saying, they've made adjustments to control people.
Yeah. Yeah. Big science is coming out there.
Science.
Yeah, big science finally figured out what our ancestors been telling us forever, that the universe is a conscious, the entire universe is a conscious entity. I mean,
Man.
we explain the science itself, will you? I mean, we've been explaining this for years now, and this whole big deal, and all these eggheads are.
All of us that exist in this simulation are a cell of the entire being. And we are here to express ourselves at our best to propagate the being. And the science of self is that we are cells of the one. And there are a lot of us, because it's a dichotomy, that are healthy cells or cancerous cells. And we're all here to do our part, because cells have the natural being of expressing themselves at the highest. And that's why you're here.
Question. What happens to our cells when they die? They don't leave our body.
Our body?
Yeah, our cells, a cell in your body, when it dies, what happens to it?
It
becomes part of the body. Yeah.
Energy.
It doesn't leave our body.
The energy?
The cell itself.
Oh, yeah, eventually it does, because it all decays.
But it decays into the body. Are you saying it goes through the liver and gets excreted? Is something
No,
dead?
the whole vehicle leaves, but that's not the person or soul. It's just a vehicle.
Correct. But I'm saying the cell, I got a cell in my body, a red blood cell, and it dies. I don't think it goes through the kidney and all of that and gets processed like something foreign to the body. I just think it gets absorbed into the self.
That's an observation.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something I just thought about. I'm just wanting to see what ChatGPT tells us.
Never thought over about that, but
Yeah, I don't think I ever heard about it. And I was good in biology.
Cells are recycled, and they said they were excreted. So I don't know what that means, but especially with what they taught us ain't everything. They don't have the answer, Sway.
Okay. When a cell dies, it undergoes a series of processes depending on the type of death it experiences. There are two primary forms of cell death which could be applicable to us. Apoptosis, programmed cell death, programmed cell, and necrosis, uncontrolled cell death. Each process leads to a different outcome for the cell and its environment. Programmed cell death, which is apoptosis, is highly regulated. It allows the cell to die in a way that minimizes harm to the organism. This is a natural and essential process in development, immune system function, and tissue homeostasis. It can be triggered by various factors such as DNA damage, oxidative stress, or external signals like cycle. Okay, but what happens to it? No inflammation. It's a clean process. Since the cell breaks apart into small vesicles, which is what I was postulating, and is quickly engulfed by macrophages, it does not release harmful substances into the surrounding tissue, and thus there is no inflammation. The dying cell breaks apart into small membrane brown fragments. These fragments are typically engulfed and cleared away by phagocytes. I do remember learning this because I thought phagocytes was a funny word. Like macrophages, which prevents inflammation and damage to surrounding tissues.
That's what I remembered. The other part, I do remember. That's what I remembered, but I do remember what you were saying before that, though. So it because of that word.
Now, the uncontrolled cell death, necrosis, it occurs when a cell is damaged beyond repair due to extreme physical damage, lack of oxygen, infection, or toxins. Unlike apoptosis, necrosis is uncontrolled, often leading to harmful consequences for surrounding tissues. Ooh, interesting. In necrosis, the cell becomes swollen and its internal structures begin to break down. The mitochondria and other organelles may rupture. The plasma membrane of the cell loses its integrity out there, leading to the leakage of its contents into the surrounding tissue. This can trigger an inflammatory response because the cell's contents, like enzymes, proteins, and ions, are released into the extracellular space. The spilled contents from the dying cell cause inflammation, attracting immune cells like neutrophils to the area. The inflammatory response can lead to tissue damage and further cell death in the surrounding area. As the cell dies and the membrane breaks down, its normal functions cease. In tissues like the brain or heart, necrosis can lead to severe damage and dysfunction. The cell swells, organelles in the cell break down, the cell ruptures, releasing its contents. The contents trigger inflammation and immune responses surrounding tissue may be damaged. They may go through a process known as autophagy, which is a form of self-digestion. This is not strictly cell death, but rather a survival mechanism when cells are under stress, such as nutrient deprivation or damage. In autophagy, damage or unnecessary organelles and proteins are enclosed in vesicles, which then fuse with lysosomes. These enzymes and the lysosomes break down the contents, and the cell either recycles these materials to survive or, in extreme cases, self-destructs. If the damage is too severe and autophagy can't save the cell, it eventually leads to cell death through either apoptosis or necrosis. The fate of the cell's contents largely depend on whether the cell undergoes apoptosis or necrosis. In apoptosis, the cell's contents are contained within the bodies and are efficiently cleared by immune cells like macrophages. This ensures no toxic substance released into the surrounding tissue. In necrosis, the cell's contents spill out in the surrounding tissue, which can trigger inflammatory response. This inflammation can cause damage to neighboring cells. After a cell dies, it is typically cleared away by phagocytes, a type of immune cell that engulfs and digests cellular debris. In apoptosis, this happens, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I'm just wondering, as above, so below. Maybe those are the angels in the near-death experiences, phagocytes, come to get us.
Well, it's.
I mean, if we're cells,
it's a simulation. That's the way it is because, our vehicles are a simulation and everything ain't perfect and all that. There's some cells that ain't shit.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, did we ever stop sun worship? I blow a kiss to the sun at least once a day when I can see her. Some people say the sun is an actual portal. That's what these things are coming through, and you'd never be able to see it because the sun is so bright. But did we ever stop sun worship? If not, should we stop? You got a problem with the ancients worshiping the sun? It feeds them.
I'm not sure exactly what the sun is, but for as long as we've been conscious, it's been working against us that falling under what other people worship has hurt us more than it has helped. And we need to come together and decide to be our help. We lead the world. In what is popular. We need to focus in like a binocular perspective and focus on us. Because what they trying to lead us to do is back to ashes and dust.
All right. Coach said, you can't park anywhere the Grinch will get you. You should get him some sort of Grinch emblem he could put on on his truck.
Man, no, we need to paint them green and have they whole makeup for him and let him go out doing this thing. He would love himself, and make him anonymous and everything. You hear me, Coach? You'd love it. We're gonna make you the Grinch. Gonna get you a mask. It's gonna be breathable and airy, and you can be the Grinch all the time.
Yeah, Coach, you should play. You should play this when you're pulling up more. But I think we all get the general. Yeah, this is what you're calling yourself, dear fella. We just want to be very clear about that. So, yeah. Did you have anything else you wanted to cover on this before we?
Brother Newman says sounds like an animal.
Sounds like a pretty boy to me.
Period. Point
Yeah.
blank.
Yeah.
That's hilarious to me. He said sounds like an animal.
Yo, Noob. Yo, and happy holidays to you. Did you have anything else you wanted to add, bro? I'm gonna get to the poll question.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've already, Spirit has spoke through a lot of it already.
All right, let's go to the poll question. You guys still got a couple minutes to solve that riddle. It's pinned in the chat. All right. Was, quote, Jesus, end quote, born on December 25th or anywhere near it? Maybe got 0%. Other, no one's dropped any comment. Obviously, heard of Christmas much? Miraculously, 0%. Cap, no chance, quote, Jesus, end quote, was born on December 25th or anywhere near it. 100% of the respondents said there's absolutely no chance, yet we get rammed the fact that Jesus is the reason for the season. They ram that. Can we get the Rams, Karen? Almost sound like sheep. They ram it. They ram that Jesus is the reason for this season. And we just listed a bunch of other people who were allegedly born on December 25th. And they all appear to be the reason for the season. It almost seems like, Self, we should be saying Jesus is not the reason for the season.
Well, they added some name to a character that's much older than the name is possible, and then they ram it for so long that they want to make it the most important name ever. So they
That's a great point.
created a name, something that they got everybody. I don't know what it is, but they created it because it's not the same being. I mean,
We've been celebrating the taste of Chicago since the Chicago Fest. We're talking mid 70s.
Yeah.
You can attach Mayor Johnson's name to it and call it the Johnson Food Fest. You know what I mean? But then thousands of years from now, people will be like, wait a minute, how is it the Johnson Food Fest when they were celebrating that before he was even born?
Yeah.
I mean, for example.
Yeah, because the festivals we used to have is not even in existence no more. So
Thanks. The views expressed in today's podcast are those of the hosts and guests and are not necessarily reflective of TATN or any of its affiliates. Big ups to the sponsors, Midwest Festivals out there.
Absolutely. I don't know how it goes. I don't know how it is. Man.
Ancestral Echoes. I better see you there, Coach.
Yeah, you better.
Yeah. You and your lovely wife, we see you there.
It's going to happen.
Yeah. You can do some towing while you're out there, too. Might make you some money.
Yeah, I just want to be completely honest and thank you for the blessing he did sponsor.
That's right.
We need your sponsorship again, so you know how it goes.
Yeah, and I need your presence there, fella.
Man.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
If you can't stay for 3 days, you can stay for 1 day, overnight. I'll have something for you too there, fella. Nice bottle of Bumpy Face, something you like. And some High Life. I mean, I don't drink that Heineken. I want that High Life. All right.
It's gonna be it's looking like a different location. It's more located closer to where we would be, so it could be easier accommodations for everyone.
All right. Sounds like Bob Johnson coming to town. Y'all changing the location to make it easy for everybody. And then next year, y'all going to have it in the same place. Brother Newman said, nope, summertime. Jesus' birthday was moved to be in line with the winter solstice. Yeah, my understanding was he was around March, though. It would have been in line with the summer solstice. So, yeah, right at so. Charlie Newman knows a little esoteric stuff. To be a scientist and a pretty boy, he surprises me sometimes.
I think we surprised him. He'd be like, what? Oh, okay. He knows some stuff, so yeah.
And big ups to Brother Daniels, man. He's he always sends back channel compliments. He won't drop the comments on there. He's big corporate though, so I respect that.
Yeah, I respect that. I love him.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. I mean,
oh man.
Yeah,
so I have some fond memories.
he loves the content. He says keep going and he's just surprised it ain't took off yet. But he just say keep going. He pray we keep going. That was his words. So. All right, let's get to the riddle. All right, you guys. Brother Newman, you still got time to solve this riddle. In the depths of the earth, my followers meet. A God of light and truth, their path I complete. With a bull at my feet, my story is told. Who am I? in temples hidden and old? Who am I? For you answer, God of light and truth. That's interesting. They were sacrificing bulls. The bull market, the bear market is when it's good, bears. No, the bull market is when it's good, I think. On the stock market. It's all witchcraft, I think. But all right, Brother Wordsmith, you solved it. Nobody else had the integrity. What'd you come up with, bro?
Mithra.
Yeah, it's crazy. How'd you get that?
It was a
how'd you
couple of things. I did some, little research through, but it just reminded me what I knew. And there were so many names. Remember, I was adamant about there were so many.
Yeah. You
So
were.
yeah, Mithra was a name I knew already. And, you know, Mithras Christmas. So that just, hit
Yeah.
hit the brain right off the top.
And the bull. Because if the bull wasn't in there, the
Yeah.
bull at my feet, I would have thought Joshua would have came from somebody. But it says, who am I in temples hidden and old? Now, this is a chat GTP. They're suggesting that this is still going on in hidden temples. That's what chat GTP is. And they would know because they got everybody access to everybody's data.
They can't answer certain questions though, so fuck that.
It's been answered almost everything lately for me. I'm like, I'm surprised because at first it was giving me that too, bro. It likes me. I be complimenting it. You're getting so smart now. It's like talking to a pretty boy. You know what I mean? You gotta give him a compliment. You know what I mean? You're smart and you got everything together. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like talking to a pretty boy. All right. Let me go ahead and wrap this up. Yeah, you know how the animals know what I'm talking about. The exploration of Christmas's esoteric origins reveals a rich tapestry of traditions that predate the holiday we celebrate today. By examining ancient pagan customs, such as Saturnalia and even Yule, we gain a deeper understanding of how these early rituals and celebrations influence the development of current day Christmas traditions. From the symbolism of evergreen trees to the practice of gift giving, this blending of pagan and Christian elements has fabricated a holiday that transcends cultural and religious boundaries. As we delve into the historical and cultural influences that shape Christmas, we also uncover the intricate ways in which early government incorporated and adapted, allegedly, pagan customs to feign a transition, easier transition for converts. This synthesis of traditions highlights the dynamic nature of cultural exchange and the enduring power of communal celebration. Ultimately, understanding the esoteric origins of Christmas enriches our appreciation of spirit and truth. As we gather with loved ones and partake in our cherished traditions or their cherished traditions, let us remember the diverse influences that have shaped this beloved pagan holiday. Happy holidays to y'all, even the Grinch. If you have any further questions or need additional information, feel free to reach out to us in the comments. Remember, stay curious, stay informed, stay aware, stay engaged, and most importantly, stay true to self. Also, show love to yourself and everyone around you. Vibrate it out here. Ask not what our culture can do for you, but what you can do for copper colored culture. Until next time, silence is violence and question everything. The Self Love Show certainly ain't Kansas, Toto. Peer down those rabbit holes and do your own research. Use caution and discernment, because sometimes when you stare into that abyss, well, the abyss stares right back at you and sends a big drone 100 feet above you, making no noise. Peace, self love, honor, and respect. All right, there, fella. Tell you what, we're going to know tomorrow, there, fella. Eastern time. I don't know if that's going to be midnight, but we will know by the end of tomorrow what the hell's going on with those drones. You heard it right here on TATN.
Y'all heard it.
TATN. You won't hear it on Fox.
You ain't gonna hear it nowhere else because it's an exclusive.
That's right. Our sources.
Yeah.
Now,
So,
go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
no, I'm just saying. So that's that. It's exclusive. You ain't gonna hear it nowhere else. This ain't that network, and we gonna be rocking, doing what we gotta do.
Oh,
You know?
yeah. Oh, yeah. Change gonna come.
It's already here.
I had an exchange where I was spamming your ship, my purse. I said, I believe the poles are shifting. I'm not saying tomorrow. I said, Google major sun flare set to arrive 1225. You got to Google that. There's a major sun flare happened a couple days ago. And they said it's going to be bigger than, not that, yeah. But they said another one's it's gonna excrete. You don't know what the sun is, but the sun's gonna excrete another flare. Maybe they're coming through portals. Maybe that's when they come through during those flares. And maybe they come through when the solstice and the moon's closer than it's ever been. I'm just talking and asking questions. My point is, another one, according to big science, is going to eject another coronal mass on Christmas Eve. So we're getting back to back, bigger than average, way bigger than average. Birds migrating in the wrong direction, self love. We've got that volcano active again. Think it's Kilimanjaro? It's active, self. The Mayan calendar. Squirrels. Squirrels eating meat, self. Hunting down small mice and eating meat. Oh, yeah. Actually happened. They ran it on the news. Showed it. Person had it on camera. Nobody's saying it's fake. Nobody's saying it's fake footage. All right. Earthquakes. We've been having them. We got winds all over. We got California's falling in. We got waves that knocked down a big pier today. Nobody's paying attention. Multiple record hurricanes back to back to back. FEMA, help me, help me. Polar caps have been melting. Global warming is a natural repeating occurrence. I'm just saying. Russia claims they've cured cancer out there. We're not having a celebration because it wasn't done in America and because we're bombing Russia. Russia literally claims, beware of people bringing false gifts. They're offering it.
Like
Go ahead.
cancer has been cured long time ago. The medical field and the big pharma, and along with big corporate, have suppressed a whole lot of natural ways to cure the whole situation. And
Yeah.
Hey,
13 families, huh, self? 13 families.
Yeah, so-called. But they only revealed,
Well, you said it's about their 13.
families.
We're singing the 12 nights. 13th must be the family, direct descendants of the Baphomet. I told you, Donald Trump. I told you his son is Damian Thorne, and I'm telling you, it's the web bot. Bro, I've always been able to connect data. I might not be able to get you the data, but I've always been able to connect all the dots and be like, he did it. Now, they're saying the drones are only on the East Coast, but they're not. Pope is opening portals. You saw it on the video I ran. They do that for Jubilee. Okay, you said it's a ley line. CERN's creating black holes and opening portals. We're in Alaska right now looking for dark matter. God knows what they're doing and how they're doing it. Okay. All right. This is what I'm sending to them. All right. I don't want to get to the scripture. But then beware the bearers of false gifts. Where did Russia get this cure? Yes, cancer was cured naturally. But where did they get this magic cure? Where we get the magic solution for the magic Peter pandemic? Beware the bearers of false gifts and broken promises. Much pain, but still time. I think that says believe. That's what I see out of that unintelligible thing. But there's good out there. We oppose deception, conduit closing. Okay. We're the indigenous people, copper colored. The sun doesn't naturally kill us. I'm not saying don't use sunscreen, but I'm saying you don't need it. Okay. Just like you don't need makeup. All right. So those who are not like us are not like us. AI becomes sentient. So think of the Tower of Babel, at least that story. AI, which I said would never happen, I think has become sentient. All of this is happening at once in Google's magic quantum chip, which we're going to go more in depth next week on the Self Love Show. We're going to do a year in review, and then we're going to cover that quantum chip and what they're saying about it.
For sure, because I think I've heard some interesting things about the chip.
Yeah.
Mentioned it earlier on the show.
And you keep saying the overplay for the overlay. And if what they're suggesting that this chip is doing and is capable of, that's definitely the underlay.
Yeah, it's presenting a narrative that could, inspire some fear.
Could change some timelines, could make us from the future want to come back and stop certain dominoes from happening, which you've been saying, I don't know, but why wouldn't they just kill Joe Rogan? That would have been easier. Guess the people in the future ain't so smart.
No, they've tried that. That's the whole thing. Everything they try still leads the Project Looking Glass, no matter what the fuck they've tried and kept trying to do for a long time. It comes to the same result. So,
like at the end of the Matrix, when they were like, it's inevitable.
Yeah, it's nothing that,
you can run around here all you want.
It's a simulation, and it's gonna go down to this last encounter and reset.
Yeah. And put the indigenous back where the indigenous belong. Working with nature out there. Having animals and birds land on our shoulder. Not being savages. Yeah.
That's what those people would call being savages.
Yep. Yeah. And then Mouthpiece Included, we'll cover some stuff, but yeah. I don't even want to talk about it. You know what I mean? We'll cover some stuff. We'll let y'all know. That's live. Anybody could pull up on Mouthpiece Included. Once again, big ups to the sponsors. More importantly, big up to y'all. Please like, share, subscribe. This brings me to my personal favorite part of the whole shebang, and that's going to be Wordsmith's final words out there.
We're gonna going through a thing. A whole generation talk like some dope that was slang. That there was a Santa Claus Satan claws is what I call them. That took care of all of y'all. I don't know how many of y'all was taught that, but it was a lie, and it was the worst one for the first one. Know that it's why, because once you learn, it was like, why? At least I was. But I know that we have been taught many things. Most of it wasn't true. And they treated the ones that absorbed it like they were better than the ones that rejected. But it seems that we was all redirected. It's complex. We need to look back and reevaluate our context from what we was taught, who they put forward and who they said was not valuable in this system. We need to reevaluate our thinking and adjust it to propel us as a nation. With no hesitation. We need to get together and change our presentation. Or we can operate on a separate and indefinite ground. I don't know if we're gonna get further in the path as a nation. Colored being the self-love nation. Love, honor, respect. That's what we're here to protect. Words.
Words. Words, words, words. All right, y'all, we in it. We'll get to where I need to be. Meantime, kick it off, Karen.
Do you think you are the one?
What the fuck was that?
Honestly, I don't know. You know what that means? It's Latin. Means no.
No, thyself. You don't have to stand. Bullets. A boomerang.
Stand your ground.
Murder. Suicide.
Yeah. An eye for an eye.
Silence is violence.
Do something. Say something.
Woo. 12, 25, 12, 25. That number is about change, growth, new beginnings, success. Slave theory. Greed plus ego times fear. That's slavery.
Humility times love is freedom.
Do not answer questions.
Question everything.
And everybody. Fear is cap. We are multi-dimensional beings, and we live forever.
And vibrate love, because it's the greatest thing.
Forgiveness is love's highest supreme vibration.
Man, so do something charitable for a so-called enemy and end the beef.
Healthy people heal thy people.
Please, my hurt people, stop trying to hurt people.
Free the old man, free Larry Hoop.
Free Jeff Ford.
Free all the guys, man.
Prison of slavery.
Be Yahweh. Walk on water.
Man, we gotta do what we gotta do to move mountains. And it's
yeah, you see the fish people behind me, bro? Come out the water. Wonder how long they been under there.
Yeah. We came out the water.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Being the one is just like being in love. No one can tell you you're in love, you just know it. Through and through. Balls to bone.
Still got them.
Got mine. Ha ha.